fine. These days was chill. Everything all good. So
Is it cold over there?
no, it's a little bit hot in the night and in the mornings. And early in the morning it's cold, but then no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, over here is cold.
Oh
Very
wow.
cold. Yes, very, very cold. And today, especially today in the morning, we were at 2 degrees Celsius in the morning.
Oh wow, too cold.
Yes. And right now we're like at 5 or 6. So yes, not even my dogs want to go outside.
Oh okay.
No, they don't want to do
But
anything.
yes, in the mornings here is like 1 or 2 grades.
Okay.
Then in the middle of the day is getting better, but it's
Okay.
something like that.
Awesome. All right. So yes, we need to get back on track. Now we have a lot of things to discuss today, but before we do that, how are you doing with your essay?
It's complicated. I hate to.
Why? It's easy.
Yes, but for instance, I don't have ideas to write.
Do you need a topic in specific?
I find a topic that is about in the past it was easier to identify what type of career or job would lead to a secure, successful future. And I only write 2 paragraphs.
Okay. You're still working on it.
Yes.
Do you think you can have it completed today?
Yes, I can complete until the end of the after.
Okay, because I need to give you a grade. Guess what? We need to discuss in a new topic, a new type of essay.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, if you could please complete this essay so that we can move on to the next one. I can hold on. Uh, Tomorrow we can discuss a new topic, the new type of essays, and I don't want to overwhelm you, so please complete that one, and then we can grade it and discuss it, and then we proceed to the next one. Okay.
Okay.
So today I want to start with a reading. Okay. Let's
Okay.
talk about what we have learned so far using transitions, using punctuations, using strategies. And these kind of exercise I like. I love them. It's from the British Council, and there's many more. But what British Council does here is it tells us what section are we going to focus on and what level we're going to be working on.
Okay.
C1 is a very high level.
Okay.
You know that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to focus on this. Think about it as a practice for the TOEFL exam, okay?
Okay.
So the topic is how humans evolve language. Read an academic text about how humans evolve language to practice and improve your reading skills. Notice something. Practice is different, right? So that means the wording is different because it's in British.
Practice. Practice normally is with C.
Right.
Okay.
So
What happens if I write with S? Don't happen nothing?
no, there's nothing is gonna happen. Now, remember, if you're writing an essay in American English, just make sure you're writing in the correct form, right?
Okay.
But this is a tip. This is a tip that you can uh, faster identify if the reading is American or British.
Okay.
Yes. This is something that, okay, right away you're going to find out this is British. Okay, so because we're not exempt, we're not going to, at some point, we're not only going to encounter American English, it's going to be British or Australian. We don't know. So we need to be ready for that, especially when we approach listening activities with different accents. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So now, before we read, let's do some vocabulary. We have a preparation task. Match the definitions A to H with the vocabulary 1 to 8. The first one, a chimpanzee. What's the answer? What's the definition?
Letter C.
Okay. Linguistics.
Letter A.
Okay. Evolutionary.
Socially advanced and developed.
Okay. And civilized? That sounds more like F.
Okay, okay.
Right?
Civilized.
What about evolutionary?
G.
To change into something different? Okay. To mutate.
No. Evolutionary letter B.
Okay. B. Relating to the way in which living things develop over millions of years. That sounds fair. To mutate.
Letter G.
Okay. And DNA?
Letter A.
Innate.
D.
D. Existent in us since birth. Natural rather than learned. Okay. And what about an artifact?
Letter E.
Okay. Good. Now, are any of these words new to you? New to you?
No.
Somehow they're relating to Spanish, right?
Yes.
Because they come from Romance languages. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's proceed with the reading. How humans evolved language. Now, can you help me with the reading?
Okay.
Remember, imagine that this is TOEFL and you need to read fast.
Okay. Thanks to the field of linguistics, we know much about the development of the 500 plus languages in existence today. We can describe their grammar and pronunciation and see how their spoken or written forms have changed over time. For example, we understand the origin of the Indo-European group of languages, which includes Norwegian, Hindi, and English, and can trace them back to tribes in Eastern Europe in about 300 BC. So we have mapped out a great deal of the history of language, but there are still areas we know little about. Experts are beginning to look to the file of evolutionary biology to find out how the human species developed the able to use language. So far, there are far more questions and half theories than answers. We know that human language is far more complex than that of even our nearest and most intelligent relatives, like chimpanzees. We can express complex thoughts, convey subtle emotions, and communicate about abstract concepts such as past and future. And we do this following a set of structural rules, known as graphs. Do only humans use an innate system of rules to govern The order of words, perhaps not. As some research may suggest, dolphins share this capability because they are able to recognize when these rules are broken. If we want to know where our capability for complex language came from, we need to look at how our brains are different from other animals. This relates to more than just brain size. It is important what other things our brains can do and when and why they evolve that way. And for this, there are very few physical clues. Artifacts left by our ancestors don't tell us what speech they were capable of making. One thing we can see in the remains of early humans, however, is the development of the mouth, throat, and tongue. By about 100,000 years ago, humans had evolved the ability to create complex sounds. Before that, evolutionary biologists can only guess whether or not early humans communicate using more basic sounds. Another question is what is it about human brains that allow language to evolve in a way that did not in other primates? At some point, our brains became able to make our mouths produce vowel and consonant sounds, and we developed the capacity to invent words to name things around us. These were the basic ingredients for complex language. The next change would have been to put those words into sentences similar to the proto-language children used when they first learned to speak. No one knows if the next step adding grammar to signal past, present, and future, for example, plural and relative clauses, require a further development in the human brain, or was simple a response to our increasingly civilized way of living together. Between 100,000 and 1,500,000 years ago, we start to see the evidence of early human civilization. Through cave paintings, for example, no one knows the connection between this and language. Brains didn't suddenly get bigger, yet humans did become more complex and more intelligent. Was it using language that caused their brains to develop, or did their more complex brains start producing them? More questions lie in looking at the influence of genetics of brain and language development. Are there genes that mutate and gave us language ability? Researchers have found a gene mutation that occurred between 2000 and 1 years ago, which seems to have a connection with the speaking and how our brains control our mouths and face. Monkeys have a similar gene, but it did not undergo this mutation. It's too early to say how much influence genes have on language, but one day the answers might be found in our DNA.
Okay, so a lot of things, right? A lot of information in this text. So we talk about how civilization evolved, and we talk about years of evolution. However, it's not clear that we necessarily come from monkeys, right?
Yes.
It's not necessarily a fact. There's a lot of evidence, but it's not precise. Just like an investigation is ongoing, okay? And new information has been found. Now, after reading this information, do you have any questions on vocabulary?
Okay.
No questions on vocabulary?
No.
No? Okay.
Well, there are a
So,
lot of words that I don't remember.
okay, like which one?
I don't remember where it was, but in general, everything good.
Okay, good. Now, let's go over the first task. Match the headings with the parts of the text A, E. Imagine that we're going to give a title to each paragraph. So we have letters here. For example, we have A, B, C, D, E. And we have all of these headlines or headings. What we know, the physical evidence, okay, how linguistic capacity evolved, how unique we are, the tiny change that may separate us from monkeys. Now, A, which one do you think is correct one here? Let's go to the headings.
How linguistic capacity involved?
Okay. Well, the correct answer for A is what we know.
Okay.
What we know now. Because if you see the information here, thanks to the field of linguistics, we know how much the development of the 5,000 plus languages in existence today. We can describe the grammar and pronunciation and see how their spoken and written forms have changed over time. So we know this. Okay, let's try another one. What about B?
That can be the how linguistic capacity involved, or how unique we are we.
Yes, that's the correct one.
Okay.
How unique are we? And so that we don't get confused. And we have 3 more. Let's go to C. Okay.
Okay.
And let's go back to the answers.
The tiny change that may separate us from monkeys.
Try again.
Or the physical evidence.
I'm sorry?
The physical evidence?
Yes, the physical evidence. Okay. And D?
The tiny change, no, the how linguistic capacity involved.
Okay. And of course, the last one we talk about monkeys.
Okay.
Is right here.
Right.
So the tiny change that may separate us from monkeys. Now, this one was a little bit different, but let's go now to the next part. And it's not gonna be easy. Are the sentences true or false? Number 1.
False?
Well, can you read these statements?
No.
Can you read the statement?
Oh, okay. Experts fully understand how the Hindi language developed. False.
Okay. So it is actually true. What about number 2?
The grammar of dolphin language follows the same rules as human language. True.
Three.
Brain size is not the only factor in determining language capability. True?
Okay, and this one is correct.
The language of very young children has something in common with the way of prehistoric ancestors may have spoken. False?
It's true.
When people start using complex language, their brains got big. True?
It's actually false. There's no evidence for that.
Okay. The role of genetics in language capacity is not yet clear. False?
True.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we need to go back and read the reading again and make sure we understand these answers, okay?
Okay. I don't understand when I read in voz alta.
Uh-huh.
I don't understand nothing.
Oh, because you're focusing in reading.
Yes. I
Okay.
don't know why, but always happen that to me. And the
So,
readings are long.
mhm.
Yes, I don't understand nothing.
I knew that. I
Yes,
noticed that. I noticed
yes.
that. And
And
that's why I'm making you read.
yes, I was concentrated more in the reading and in being faster than
Mhm.
in comprehension.
Oh, but can we read faster with uh, no, not reading actually loud?
Yes.
Okay, let's try another exercise right now.
Okay.
But before that, do you think monkeys and dolphins have complex language like humans do?
Yes.
Why? This is an open question. Imagine this is a question from the speaking section. Do you
No,
think?
no. I think that no, they don't have a complex language like humans do because they talk in one idiom or signs, and humans have different idioms.
Okay,
And
because, okay, you were saying, I'm sorry.
no, nothing.
Because imagine being a dolphin, for example. You live in water. So, what are the things that you would communicate in the water? Maybe search for food, express that you're hungry.
And say where for what direction you have to go.
Yes, maybe finding a boyfriend or girlfriend. What else? What is there? Danger?
Yes,
But dolphins are not going to create rockets, right?
yes,
Okay, so it's not complex. They're very smart though. How they can many things, but
ye-
they're not as evolutionary as we are. For example, monkeys, maybe like dogs, they behave like if they were kids
yes, that's right.
at some point. It depends. For example, uh, when they become parents, they have this instinct to to be protective, right? And also
Yes,
to provide for the pups or the kids, right?
yes,
But that's just given human nature. Most animals have that, if not all of them, except for the cuckoo bird. Do you
mhm.
know that one? Do you know how the cuckoos they're born?
No, I don't know.
You never. Oh no, you need to do that. The cuckoo birds, the one that come like the one they use for the clocks, like cuckoo, cuckoo. Those
Mhm.
birds, they call them parasite birds.
Parasite?
Yes,
Why?
because what happens is that the the mother bird leaves the egg in another nest, in another bird's nest, usually a
Ah,
small, and that when that small bird is born, give me just a second, please.
yes, no problem.
Okay, when the baby bird is hatches, hatch means that they break the egg and they're born. Hatch.
Okay,
What they do is they're born first, and then the other babies start being hatched. What the cuckoo bird does, he throws away the other birds so that they can fall down from the nest and die.
ah, okay,
And when the other bird comes, is going to concentrate only on the cuckoo.
okay,
And birds, they kind of like, okay, the bird was hatched here, so it's mine, you know.
yes.
They don't leave it alone. I mean, they're like, I don't know, birds are weird. But the cuckoo is a big bird,
Okay, I'm
and they
going
call
to.
him a parasite. Yes, they call him a parasite because he throws away the baby birds,
Ah,
so
wow.
they fall down and they die. Yeah, check it out in YouTube. There's a couple of documentaries about them.
Okay, yes, I want to hear the history and how they are.
Yes, it's strange how they, and so is a cuckoo bird a complex bird? Maybe they're smart though, because they don't take any responsibilities,
Yes, yes. Good.
right? I don't know. I don't know how to determine that, but imagine you would have to make an argument about this in a speaking section for the TOEFL exam. You need to have
Um,
some. You need to have some background information to show us evidence.
okay, yes.
Okay. There's so many more topics the TOEFL can talk about, but we need to make sure we have background information, okay, so that we can defend our argument.
Yes, yes, that's right.
Okay.
Okay.
So that being said, let's get into some information here. Let's talk about something very interesting. Let's talk about the difference between, give me just a second, the point, the semicolon, and the comma. The big differences between just them. Semicolons in compound sentences. Semicolons are most often used to connect two independent clauses. We know that. We talk about that. Full sentences that are related in meaning. Both the words before the semicolon and the words after it must be complete sentences that could be separated with a period. Okay. Example, we could go finish fishing on Saturday. You could borrow a pole from my neighbor. We could go fishing on Saturday. You could borrow a pole from my neighbor. Now, both of these examples are correct. The
Okay.
only difference is how you pronounce it, how you're going to interpret, how you're going to read it. And also, notice the difference here. You have a punto y seguido, and then you have a capital letter, but here,
Good.
exactly. Okay. So using a semicolon to connect two independent clauses creates what's called a compound sentence. If you don't want to use a semicolon, you can also use a comma and the words and, but, or so to connect your original two sentences. Okay,
Uh,
yeah.
in, eh, Using and but.
Yes, because they're going to help us connect both independent clauses.
How do you say en vez de?
I'm sorry?
How do you say in English en vez de usar punto de?
Instead of. Instead of.
Ah, okay.
Yes, like this.
Okay.
Example.
Ah,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what you meant, right?
Yes.
Okay. So examples. Oh, we're here. To connect your original two sentences. If you use however or moreover to connect your ideas, and we talk about these offs being transitions. And remember, we talk about different types of transitions. Remember, you have two different statements, independent clauses. They talk about the same topic. So what you're gonna do is just connect them with the transition, smooth. The course is hard, but the teacher is pretty funny.
Okay.
La clase, ¿verdad? La clase es difícil, but the teacher is pretty fun.
Okay.
Another example, the course is hard. However, the teacher is pretty funny.
It's the same meaning.
Exactly. Well, we are conveying the same message. You have two independent clauses. You can also do this. The course is hard. The teacher is pretty funny. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But it sounds what?
Two different sentences.
Exactly. Sounds like muy rudo, ¿no?
Like no sense.
It makes sense, but it just has no alma, you know.
Okay. Yes.
It's too blunt. Muy blunt means just simple.
Okay.
We want
Yes.
to make it to rhyme, to make it get your attention, right? So I would use something like this.
Yes.
Okay. So using a semicolon instead of a period lets you emphasize the connection between your original two sentences and also lets you vary the structure of your sentences, making your paragraphs easier for someone else to read. Okay?
Okay.
That's what it is, actually. Now, semicolons in compound sentences. Semicolons with commas in a series. Okay? So less often, you need a semicolon to separate items in a series. Okay? You can just use commas. Example, he's taking algebra, biology, and drama. It's a series. But when the series you're writing about already contains commas of its own, adding more commas can confuse your readers. Okay? So he's taking algebra, which he's good at, biology, his least favorite subject, and drama for fun.
That is confused.
It's a little bit confusing, right?
Yes.
Even for in reading, it's like, okay. On the table were three piles: meat, chicken, and fish, rice, bread, and pasta, and spinach, broccoli, and kale. What do you think?
I don't understand nothing.
Well, it's a little bit confusing. You need to pay attention closely, right?
Yes.
So let's see now. To make your list clearer, therefore, use commas instead of semicolons to mark off its major sections. So what we're gonna do, and we talked about the use of semicolons previously, but in this case, we are comparing these two monsters, semicolons and commas. Let's see. So he's taking algebra, which he's good at. And then, boom, biology, comma, his least favorite subject, and drama for fun.
Okay.
Now you're making pauses, you're separating your ideas, and it makes sense.
Yes.
Okay. Let's take a look at it again. He's taking algebra. Then you separate, maybe it's not important. But remember, when you have an expression that you want to show, it's not important. You have to separate it with commas, which is good at. In this case, you have to use a semicolon to separate it, and then you add your next topic, biology, and then and drama.
Okay.
And you're using and to show that that's the last one. On the table were 3 piles. Now here you're not using a semicolon, you're using a column because you're showing a list, right?
Yes.
Okay. Meat, chicken and fish.
In the first pile.
That's the first pile. Meat, chicken, and fish. Rice, bread, and pasta. That's another pile. And spinach, broccoli, and kale. Okay. Because in the beginning, when we were reading, like, okay, which one is which one?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe we can have a different color. Okay. This one is different, okay? So that we can just differentiate. We can know the differences. Okay.
Okay.
Any questions here?
No, no question.
Okay, but it's clear. Now, misuses of semicolon. Because a semicolon can only separate independent clauses, okay? It cannot be used when the words before or after it cannot stand alone as a sentence. Wrong.
Okay.
Driving to school, I saw the accident. No. Because they don't sound, the first one doesn't sound as an independent clause. Sounds like a dependent. Yes. You do well on your speech because you practice so carefully. Well, because it's a connector. And using a semicolon is not proper. We could have what? Maybe we don't need it. We don't need anything because we can just, because it's your connector.
Okay, yes.
Okay. So we have a small practice. Now, this practice is going to be for homework.
Okay.
So take a picture, please.
Take a picture.
Yes.
Okay, and done.
This is for homework. And let's do this. Let me give you pictures of the text.
Okay.
So you can have it. Okay. So you should be getting pictures. And this is an easy assignment, okay?
Okay.
And this will help you so much when you write your essays.
Okay, thank you.
Of course, I have the answers there, but I'm not going to share that yet.
Mhm.
Now, let's do another exercise. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, give me a second. Okay, so let me show you the screen. And this one again is a reading exercise, a biography of Kilian Jornet.
Okay.
Okay, read a biography of a mountain runner, Kilian Jornet, who climbed Everest in one day. To practice and improve your reading skills. Now, we have here some vocabulary.
Okay, okay.
First, kidneys. What is the answer for kidneys?
Mm, eh, I don't know.
What about endurance?
Endurance. Kidneys, but it can be G. Number one.
Okay, two organs in the body that process liquid waste. How do we call them in Spanish?
Pulmón.
That would be air.
Mm,
Liquid waste.
I don't know.
¿Qué órganos usamos para procesar, limpiar la sangre?
Mm,
Para limpiar la sangre, y la sangre está compuesta de agua, nuestros riñones.
genial. Es.
Kidneys.
Yes.
Okay. So, endurance.
Endurance is F.
Okay. The ability to do something difficult for a long time. Okay. What about to scale?
A.
Try again.
E.
E,
Yes.
to climb a mountain or other object.
Yes.
Okay. What
It's
is
still,
when you
it's
chose? Okay, when you chose A, what was your understanding of a scale?
escalar.
Okay. And we call that climb también, ¿correcto?
Yes.
Pero scale también significa medir, como una escala, pesar algo. Okay.
Okay.
To scale. And yes, that's correct. And what about breathless?
H.
Okay, that's correct. Not breathing easily. What about to hike?
Mm, B.
Mm, let's try again. What about a Sherpa?
I don't know.
Okay, an ascent. Un ascenso.
Eh, no, I don't. Okay. E. Altitude. C.
That's correct. And what about the two left? A hike and a Sherpa.
Hike, it can be D.
B.
B, but if it's B, B.
Well, check it out. You have an S. That means it's a proper name.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. Um, B, B.
A mountain guide from the Himalaya mountains. A Sherpa. Es como tu guía de turismo.
Ah, okay, okay. And a hike, D.
A long, hard walk. Okay.
Okay.
Now, let's go into the reading. You read your way, read, and let me know when you need to move the page, okay?
Okay. Can you can we pass to the next page? Hearing board. Okay, I'm done with this page. A little bit more. Entirely under. Okay. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. So, any questions about vocabulary?
No,
No? Now, let's do the
I
task.
have a question. I have a question.
Okay.
What mean peers? Like your in some
Where?
I think it is in the beginning. Oh no. Oh yes. Peers. He left his peers even farther behind.
Peers. Okay. Peers are people that are with him, people that are observing him.
Okay, like sus compañeros.
Mm, not necessarily compañeros, but other people. Um, for example, uh, like people that are watching you.
Like peer pressure is the same that this peer.
Well, exactly. But peer is not compañeros. Es
Oh,
más como de las personas alrededor tuyas. Presión del ambiente, presión de las personas alrededor tuya. Peer pressure.
okay.
So he left his peers.
Okay.
Not necessarily his friends, companions, but the people around him.
Okay.
Okay. What about the task? Write the correct numbers to complete the sentences. It's normal to find it hard to breathe at.
Well, at
You need to go back.
800 meters, 8,000. Okay.
Let's see.
In the beginning. 7,000 meters. No. 8.85 meters. Or 3,500 meters.
Well, 3,500 meters.
3,500 meters. Okay.
Okay. So it is normal to find it hard. It is normal. Es normal que no pueda respirar bien at 3,500 meters above sea level. Killian reached the summit of Everest in how many hours?
I live in a city that is 3.625 meters in high.
It's very high.
Yes.
Really? 3?
But yes, 3.625 meters high.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, well, where I live is 2.8, 2,800 meters.
It's high too.
It's high, but you live in a higher place.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
That's why it gets cold, right?
Yes.
So Killian reached the summit of Everest in how many hours?
17.
Yes. He was years old when he walked a long way without being carried.
1
Mm,
or 3. I don't know.
how old?
I think it's in the second page. No, I think it's before. At 1 year old, one.
And a half.
1.5. Yes.
Okay. At age, he saw mountaineering as more than a hobby.
3
Mm,
or 18.
okay. So let's go back.
5 is 18. At 13.
Right here, right? 13.
Yes.
Okay. At age, he became his own trainer.
18.
Yes. And at BPM, Killian pulse rate is much lower than even very fit people.
33.
Yes. Good. That's 2. Circle the best answer. Read the question. Give me the answer.
All of the above. Letter B. Letter D.
Okay. Hold on
Uh,
for number 3. Hold on for number 3. Okay. In his training noun, Killian. Now, remember, he used
letter A.
no, it's A.
Yes.
Okay. 4.
Letter A.
Mm,
Letter C.
correct. 5.
Letter A. Letter A. Letter D.
Okay. All right. So we had some questions in 3, 4, and 6, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about this. What physical challenges would you like to train for? Do you like to do sports?
Resistance.
Okay. Resistance such as for running
Yes,
or
because when
lifting weight?
in my place, how is too high, I have less resistance than in other place.
Okay. Did you play any sports or do you play any sports?
Yes, well, I play tennis,
Okay.
so I don't have much resistance.
Okay, so you get tired fast.
Yes,
I can imagine. And also breathing becomes a problem, right?
yes,
But in the end, when you practice in a place at sea level, you become more resistant.
yes. Some sports, some yes, they go to a higher place to entrenar.
Train, okay.
Yes, train to get better in their own place.
Okay. Yes, they do that. Usually, for example, I don't know if you follow UFC, the mixed martial arts.
No.
Okay, you don't like aggressive sports, right?
Yes, I don't like that.
Okay. For example, sometimes when fighters they have a show in a place with a high altitude, they have problems,
Ah, wow.
and they need to get conditioned to the altitude
Yes, that's right.
before they even think about having a fight. And that happened once. It happened about, oof, I'm talking about maybe 5 years ago, 6 years
Ah,
ago. And there
okay.
was a fighter from Brazil and another one from the US, but a Mexican fighter, right? From the
Yeah.
US. And the Mexican fighter, he was the champion and he got challenged and the Brazilian. And somehow they decided to have the fight in Mexico City. Now, this fighter is from Arizona. Arizona is a desert, but it doesn't have a high altitude, not even close to the 1,000 meters. Anyways, it's hot. They decided to
Ah,
have the fight in Mexico City. Mexico City has an altitude of 2,000 something.
okay.
So the fighter did not prepare for this. He just took a flight and just to fight the next day.
He didn't go days before.
No. But the Brazilian fighter, he did.
Ah,
He settled in Mexico City for 2 months and he trained there. Do
wow.
you know what happened?
Yes.
Wow, the Mexican fighter got beat bad,
Wow.
really
Yeah,
bad. Yes.
that is too common because if is- some sports they have to go days before the competition
Mhm.
to go
Even for soccer.
even
Yes,
for
even for
soccer.
soccer.
Yes,
Mhm.
some players, some teams from other countries when they came here to my city, they have to came days, a lot of days before.
Yes,
They
that's
hide.
correct. And it depends on the conditions. For example, in the Premier League for soccer in the UK, do you notice? I don't know you follow soccer, but I don't know you notice that most of the teams they just pass the ball, long passes. They touch the ball, pass, long passes, fast game.
Yes.
And in Spain is different.
They stay
Why?
with the ball more time.
In Spain. But do you know the difference? Why?
No.
In the UK, it's always raining
Ah,
and there's water on the field. So the ball is heavy. So you're going to fall. You're going to slip. So that's why they pass the ball fast.
okay. I didn't know that.
Yes. that's one of the problems that a lot of players have when they first show into the Premier League.
Okay. Okay. Yes, that makes
And yeah,
sense.
I mean, in Spain, I mean, yeah, it rains, but there's sun. It's different.
Yes.
In the UK, you're closer to the North Pole. It's raining, it's cold. So yes, players slip a lot.
Yes, yes, you're right.
Yeah, and yeah, that's why there's a lot of challenges in physical challenges in sports.
Yes,
Anyways, ma'am. Yes. Anyways, ma'am, that's all for today. I will give you. You have homework, but I will give you another assignment so you can practice. And also, don't forget. Well, let's just keep the homework and complete your essay, okay? And tomorrow we will
okay.
discuss the next one, okay?
Okay. I'm going to send you when I finish, or tomorrow we can review.
Yes, please.
Tomorrow or today?
If you send me your essay, we can review tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. And before you go, could you help me with your daily survey? Thank you so
Yes,
much.
I'm afraid.
Okay. Thank you, Lucy. Have a great
Okay,
day.
thank
Talk
you.
to you tomorrow.
Goodbye. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.